Welcome back to episode 12 of the I've Got Nothing podcast, and it's pretty obvious that I do, in fact, have nothing. I didn't even have a podcast this week. I don't have any views, and I have nothing interesting to talk about. So, if that's what you were looking for, you found it. The one thing I do have is phlegm in my throat. And my nose. Got allergies for no reason. I usually get allergies in spring. Like bad. Really bad. However, that's been done and gone. Haven't taken an allergy pill in weeks now because didn't need to. And then today, someone decided that it was my time to get all sniffly and nasally. So if I sound a little deeper, or if you hear a little, just know I've got allergies. So yeah, the podcast is late, and I haven't recorded one in like 3 weeks because I recorded the last one early, which shouldn't have recorded it because no one watched it. Not a single person. That's okay. It was horrible. I named it Fight a Cricket, and I didn't even fight a cricket. I just got frustrated and got up from my chair multiple times. Damn it, man. I hate allergies. I wonder if there's someone out there that is like, fuck yeah, I got my allergies back. Got my allergies back, finally. That'd be so strange. You'd have to question that person's mental health, right? I would say so. However, I'm sure many people question my mental health. So, who am I to say what's right and what's wrong? I'm not to say. But yes, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, however many weeks ago, me and Brendan went out to Philadelphia for like 5 days. And so I recorded that podcast early. Philly is cool. Philly is weird. Philly is old as hell. The first thing that I noticed when we got there was that the roads are horrible. I thought Albuquerque had bad roads. Oh, God. The roads in Philly, there's no point in even having roads. It's like you're off-roading. You're going 70 miles an hour on the freeway and you're hitting little jumps, getting a little bit of air. No one even picks their head up. No one even cares. I picked my head up. I cared. They have the oldest everything. They have the oldest insurance company for fire insurance for your home. Started in like the 1700s. Which, I mean, you think about it now and you think about an insurance company and you're like, oh yeah, that probably started in like the late 1900s. No. You're wrong. And I was wrong too. It started in the 1700s because people didn't know how to build homes probably. And they would catch on fire so easy. How many flame retardants could they have had? Water? That was it. Probably. I don't even know any other flame retardants. Just water and then dirt. There's other ones, probably. Dude, I heard this conspiracy last week. I don't remember where I heard it, but there's a conspiracy that Biden is dead and he's just a hologram. And for me it would be, I don't hope that he's dead, but I hope that he's a hologram, because it would be so funny if they were like, we have to make a hologram of Biden, but when he talks, he still has to give up mid-sentence. That would be so funny. They're like, we can't make him like, they're just in a boardroom and everyone's like, well, what are we going to do? And someone's like, dude, we can build a hologram. Don't, shh. We'll make Biden a hologram. And then someone else in the room is like, dude, then no one's going to complain about him fucking up sentences. And everyone else is like, no. He still has to fuck up the sentences. We have to throw in a couple of give ups. I don't even know how old that man is. What is he, 78? How the fuck do we have a guy that's 78 running our country? How is that all we had? We had a guy that was 78 and has dementia, or a guy that's 76 and is a complete buffoon. How is that where we're at? You know, America is not in a good fucking place right now. And China they're working on the long con, man. They're not in it for the short term, which is really all America's worried about, is short term. I guess that's the one nice thing about a dictatorship, is like, you don't have to worry about only having 4 to 8 years to get what you want done. In Biden's situation, too. You can spend as long as you want. You can make a 20-year plan, man. And be like, I'll be here. I'll still be killing people. Jesus. China's terrifying. If you're not scared of China, I don't even know what to say. It's early. I heard this thing about China, actually, that, you know how they've always been known to have the one child limit. You can have one kid and that's it. And they always wanted them to be boys. So they would like throw away the girls, I guess. I don't know. I didn't do it. Don't blame me. But just recently, they relaxed that rule to 2 children, right? Because they know what's happening. They're going into depopulation. And they've got so many old people, and old people cost a lot of money. Oh, Damn it. Every time I talk a lot, I burp. But they relaxed it to 2 children. And then like a week or 2 later, they said, actually, you can have 3. And then 1 to 2 weeks later, they said, have as many kids as you want. We support you. And so now you can have as many kids as you want in China. Which, cool. But I heard another stat that went with all of that I just said is that China's median age or mean age or one of the Ains or Ains, or I don't know. One of the ages is now the same as the U.S. It's the same age, the median and mean or whatever, that age is the same age as the U.S. And like not even 10 years ago, it was 15 years younger than the U.S. So their population is getting old fast. And that right there is our only hope. Except for China. China has no remorse. Well, not China in general. I'm talking about the China, whatever, the rulers, the political part, the CPTQR, the China political part. I don't. Jesus. Getting into politics. I'm a politician now. I'm running for president in, how old am I? 12 years. I'm running for president. And you're all going to vote for me and you don't even know it. I'm going to run for president. And when I become president, I'm probably going to end up like all the other presidents. Hated and get nothing done. But I'm going to sell it on my way up, you know? People are going to have a lot of belief in me. There's going to be a good backing. They're going to be like, this kid, he's been in the business sector, so he knows what's, you know, but I'm not Trump. So, fuck it, dude. I don't even know. I could turn into Trump. 12 years? Speaking of that, I can feel myself I've been working with my grandfather a lot. And one of the people that we work with has been like, so you're trying to become your grandfather, whatever. I'm not going to say his name on here. And I was like, well, yeah, sure. Yeah. And then that lady said that to my mom. And my mom was like, well, maybe not. But, you know, the good stuff, for sure, all the good stuff. And it's funny because after she said that, I can feel myself turning into my grandfather just a little bit, you know? I pull out onto 4th Street where our shopping center is. And when people are going too fast, sometimes I pull in front of them to slow them down a little bit. Very grandfather move of me. I've been driving down my roads and people have been like riding my ass. And I'm like, well, this is my road. I don't want people going too fast. I want it to be a safe road. So I'm going to go just above the speed limit. So, becoming my grandfather. 2022. It's a new movie coming out. Oh, it's been an interesting week, 2 weeks, because while I was in Philly, the first few days I was just like locked on my phone, watching like we were exploring and we went out for one, like the night that we got there. We didn't make it to our hotel until like 10:30, and we went out to try and find some fucking food. And I figured that there would be more food open in Philly at late at night. And it was like, I guess we got there on like a Wednesday, but still, I figured it's a big city. We were in downtown Philly. I figured there would be some food open. And I looked to find some food, and the only place that said that it was open was this Chinese town square or whatever. And it was in Chinatown. And it was like almost a mile and a half away from our hotel. And we didn't want to drive, so we walked from our hotel all the way through Chinatown. And then it wasn't even open. The only places that were open were like Chinese seafood restaurants. And for one, I don't like seafood. And for two, I wasn't willing to risk it. I don't know. But they didn't look like a restaurant that I would want to go to. And that's that. But so we just walked 3 miles, and we get back at our hotel, and it's like 12:15 in the morning. I never stay up that late. But I was looking on like DoorDash and I don't know, whatever the other Uber mouth, shove it in my mouth, Uber shove it in my mouth. That's a different site. Never mind. And dude, can you guys hear that? I don't know that you can hear that, but there's a bird that's obviously broken. Someone hit it in the head with a rock. They hit 1.5 birds with one stone, and the second one just has a mental problem now, and it just chirps at the perfect rate of speed. So it's like a clock ticking. And it's driving me bonkers. And it happens every time I'm recording a mother tripping podcast. I just said podcast. Every time there's something that's just, why? The world knows that I hate repetition. And it does it to me every time. You know, I figured out why I hate repetition so much. And it's because as a kid, I got, I was 3 or younger probably. And we were in Denver, Golden, Colorado. And dude, I was on the second floor. My room was all the way up against the road. It was the room closest to the cul-de-sac. And I had a nice window. But my mom got one of those stupid clocks that makes the ticking noise. And so when I went to bed, I was scared shitless of this stupid ticking noise. And I knew it was coming from the clock, but it was still scaring me because I was like, well, I'm trying to fall asleep, but I haven't fallen asleep. And I've heard 1,000 of those ticks, which means I haven't slept in a very long time. I don't know how long a second is, but I know that if I've heard 1,000 of them, it's been a long time. And so that scared the shit out of me. And so now every time I hear repetition, dude, do you know how to speak English? Talking to myself. This whole thing's me talking to myself. What am I talking about? But so now every time there's repetition, I get irate. Dude, I'm a dictionary. Or a thesaurus. That's probably a better word. I get irate. It makes my blood boil because I'm scared. And you know that anger or irateness, if you so choose to say that, is never the first emotion. And I heard this on a podcast. I think it was Crystalia's podcast. And it's so true. Anger is never the first emotion. It's fear or, oh my God. Homer, you just slapped my damn camera. You butternut squash. Let me adjust that. See that nice look in my long, luscious beard? That's better. And we're back. But anger. Anger is never the first emotion. Anger comes with either fear or I don't even know what the core emotions are, but fear or sadness, probably. When I got sad, I got angry. I can tell you that, for one. But so when I hear that stupid ticking noise, I get a little scared. And I'm a grown man. So I know that just because it's repeating doesn't mean it's scary. However, it's ingrained in one of the lobes, the frontal, maybe. The frontal lobe. It's ingrained in there. And so now I think that I have to get angry every time because I get scared. Dude, I'm a therapist for myself. And that's the thing. Be a therapist for yourself. Sniffles. I look disheveled. My hair looks disheveled. So does my beard. You can't really see it from there, but dude, it's patchy. And I don't think it's ever going to fill in fully. So I got this like goatee thing or whatever. What do they call this? I don't know. Why? Someone's attacking me. I've been shot. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. No, what? Oh, that's what I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, got into a long rant about repetition. And it stopped. The broken bird has flown. Oh, I thought he was back. Has flown away. Hopefully. Either way, what can you do? But we did 3 miles in Chinatown. And, it wasn't, I was walking around with my camera, which was stupid for one, but it wasn't like scary, but it was to the point where like there weren't enough people to make you comfortable. Like we would pass someone every like 2 blocks or like maybe a person a block. And you're like, if one of these people wanted to do something, there's no one else that would probably ever even know. until they knew, you know? And so I was on edge the whole time. And Brendan was a little bit, but he's a little young. I mean, he's 17. He's old enough to understand fear, but sometimes it's that ego thing gets in your way. That, oh, fuck, dude, no one could do anything to me. And I have a little bit of that, but I was still like, if something happens, we're going to have to do something. We're going to have to tussle it out. Going to have to get into a freaking roller rink. Going to have to put this man in a triangle choke. So I was on edge. And I had my camera and my tripod. So I was like, you know what? I'll just slap the shit out of someone's head with my tripod if need be. Didn't need it to be. It didn't need be. It didn't happen, which is great. But it was more sketchy than I was expecting. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it was a little bit unnerving. It was very late. I was very tired. We had traveled all day. And it was just a little unnerving. But it was fun. We saw a cool place at a cool time. And it was interesting. We also saw two people racing in the streets of Philly, running red lights, jumping their car because they were going so fast. And I was like, where am I? This guy was legitimately drifting corners on red lights. And his car left the ground because he hit a speed bump going like 70 in the middle of Philly. And they were doing construction just down the road, literally the road that he turned on, and there were police officers there. And I was hoping that he would just speed right into the police officers because that would be so funny. But I don't. I don't think that happened. I don't know what just happened to me, but I had to release air, and that's the way that it happened. And that's the way that my body wanted it to come out. So I don't ask questions. I'm just the messenger. But what I was getting to was that in Philly, for the first couple of days, I was very focused on my phone and just like watching YouTube or watching Dave on Hulu, which is freaking hilarious. Probably one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. But I decided after those first couple of days, I was like, you know what? I don't need my stupid phone. And my phone is making me depressed. And I'm tired of just being a slave to this stupid device. And I was in the middle of watching a video about dopamine detox. And in the middle of it, I turned it off, deleted YouTube from my phone, and deleted all social media apps except for Snapchat, which I have the notifications off. So don't come for me. I don't know who would come for me. There's no one watching, but don't come for me. And dude, I would sit there. I turned it off. I would not touch my phone. And I would sit there and I would play catch with myself. How many times have you played catch with yourself today? That sounds... And that's not what I meant. But you know I legitimate catch. But take it how you will. I was literally laying in the bed, and I was playing catch with my AirPods, just throwing them back and forth, thinking about life. Just using my good old cabeza and being alone and really just focusing on doing nothing to supplement my boredom except for play catch, stretch, walk around, be a dad. I think that's one of the most dad things I've ever done. I literally would get up, walk around the bed, and just look out the window, like posture up, do a little stretch. And I would look out the window. I was like, pretty nice day outside. Maybe I should go for a run. I did go for multiple runs in Philly. So frickin' humid. It was the most humid I've ever been. And yes, I was physically humid. Don't know what that means, but that's how humid it was. It was so humid that I physically was humid. I would go for a run, and the thing that I hate about humidity is you go for a run, you come back, you want to jump in the shower and get your day going. You jump in the shower, you get out, and you're still sweating. And I was taking cold showers because there was a layer of sweat just wrapping around my body. And so I would turn it on cold, wouldn't even feel the water. Just felt like a nice cool breeze. But as soon as I got out, I was sweating again. So why did I shower is the question. And the answer is I don't know. Because I hate humidity. That's not even an answer. And I already answered it with I don't know. So that's what you get for humidity. However, there is one thing that's made me sweat more than the humidity there. And that's I started doing jujitsu. Jujitsu. I don't think that's how you say it, but it's more fun to say it that way. So I said it that way. Jujitsu. It's like I'm in a movie. Would you like to do some jujitsu? I don't know what kind of movie that is, but probably like maybe a comedy thriller. Something a little lighthearted, but got some action, What is wrong with me? But yeah, I've been doing some jiu-jitsu, and that when you're pulling on people's arms and legitimately trying to get near to killing each other, which is lovely. Everybody should do it. You get so sweaty. And it really makes you think. You're like, oh, so you're fighting for your life. And I've been in a couple situations where I was almost choked out. And I was like, oh, this is life or death right here. And I'm going to live. And I would freaking take my chin. And I got a big chin, dude. I got a big, pointy, hard-ass chin. So I would take that chin, and they were trying to get me in a choke. And I would freaking jam it into their arm. I would jam it in, and they would release. They'd be like, damn. And I would be like, hey. I don't know what that was, but that's what I would do. But it's been freaking fun, dude. It's nice that COVID has done its thing, and I know that it's still ravaging certain areas, but I love being face to face, licking sweat off of another man right now. It's been great. So that's how it is, and that's how it should be. We really can't. I mean, I keep seeing, when we were in Philly, I was downstairs doing work, and the TV was on, and Jesus Christ, I don't watch news, and there's one reason, because the news is fucking bullshit, and it's worthless. It's just fear-mongering. Like, why? If you watch the news, of course, you're going to be scared every of the time, all of the times. I was watching this, and they were like, the Delta variant, the Delta variant. And then, so that was spiraling in my head for a little bit. And then yesterday, I was at my grandparents' house. They were watching the news. Stop it. And I saw this lady come on, and she was like, well, if you have the, what the fuck is it called? Oh yeah. If you have the vaccine, you're good. You're pretty much good. And I was like, so what is this all about? What are we doing here? Don't spew it like that. Don't say everybody's going to die and we need to shut down the country again if, when you get a vaccine, it doesn't do anything to you. Also, I heard that they're like, this is the most transmissible of the disease, the Delta variant. Isn't there like it's like a teeter-totter? Like transmissible, deadly, deadly, transmissible. And the disease doesn't want to be super deadly, because then it doesn't have time to transfer to other hosts. And then when it gets too transmissible, well, that's the whole reason for the virus. It wants to replicate in other organisms, so it wants to be as transmissible, which means that it's less deadly. Right? I thought that's what it was. I thought that's what they said early on. There was like a trade-off. Did I make that up? I probably did. Whatever. Everyone's like, well, it's more transmissible. Transmissible. Don't say the word fully. And I'm like, cool. Nice. However, it's obviously horrible. And now all the lab leak stuff, people are like, well, maybe. It's possible that it came from a lab. And they're saying this now. And before, like a couple of months ago, if you said anything about the lab leak, they were taking you off of platforms. How is that? That's a legitimate. I've always thought that it came from a lab. I'm going to be honest. There's a lab in Wuhan that literally works on coronaviruses. And we think that it's just going to jump from a pangolin to a bat, or bat to a pangolin, and then someone's going to chew on it? I mean, maybe, but they're testing that stuff just down the street. For us to not think that might be the reason, that's a little bit idiotic. You should definitely be like, well, that's not out of the realm of possibilities, right? And for anyone that thinks that it's okay to get to like attack a Chinese person or a Chinese American or anybody because it came out of a certain region or a certain area, that person is obviously deluded. They didn't put enough of the other stuff into their brain. It's just water. It's a little too much dilution. It's like when you over dilute a Gatorade, or you get the powder and you just put 1 scoop in and there's not enough sugar. These people aren't thinking at the full capacity. That's so... Homer, again? God. It makes me mad. These people shouldn't... How could you think that because it came out of a lab in China that it means that all Chinese people are bad? I mean, freaking Lyme disease came out of a government thing in the US. Or people think, you know? So, don't come for me. And Lyme disease is freaking horrible. I don't know. That just makes me so... Makes me... There's the irate. Makes me irate. Again. I don't like being irate. I don't like being angry. I've been working on that a lot. I got freaking stickies on my mirror in my room that says, I am calm, because I have to work on it. I have to stay calm. So, I don't like being irate, but when people are such a damn triangle that they think that, not even a triangle is a strong shape, the strongest of shapes. They're more of an oval laid on its side. You know it's not going to hold up if you put any weight on it. It makes me mad. Speaking of that, while I was in Philly, me and Brendan were riding bikes. And I've always been the type of person that's like, if I see someone getting the shit beat out of them, I'm going to step in and stop it. Right? And we were riding bikes and we're at this stoplight, and I just look over and this guy, this homeless man, is getting the shit beat out of him. These people are kicking him and stomping on him. And I was like, oh, fuck, what the? And I was like, in the process of thinking, I was in my head and I was like, fuck, what do I do? Should I go over there? There was like 6 people stomping this guy out. I was like, do I go over there? Do I like be like, yo, what's going on? Like, chill. And while I was thinking that, I mean, this was all in like a millisecond. I'm a quick thinker. So while I'm thinking about that, this other lady's like, yo, what are you guys doing? And there was a security guard that was part of this shit beating. He was the security guard for the building that they were in front of. And I was like, what the hell is fucking happening? And the security guard turns around and he's like, and I don't necessarily agree with this. However, I do sort of agree with this. He was like, this guy deserves it. He just punched this lady in the face. And at that point, I'm like, right? Don't punch a lady in the face. You won't get the shit beat out of you. Seems like common sense to me. And they had stopped kicking the shit out of him by then. Everyone came to their senses when that lady yelled at them. So they ended it. The guy was fine. He wasn't dead. He was sitting up and he was like, "Boy, that's still the..." Just like that. So I don't know. It made me think about that. It made me think about like who I am and what I would do, because I was always that person. Like I always thought that I was going to be that person that was going to step in and stop it, you know? And I still think I would be. However, dude, if you punch a chick in the face, I mean, maybe a little bit you get the shit beat out of you, right? Not for too long, maybe, but like enough to understand, don't punch a lady in the face. Now, I don't know what the lady said to him, but also be mentally a little stronger. If the lady said something to you, be a little bit mentally stronger. Hard to say that, though, you know? I was living on the streets. I don't know the situation. I'm just relaying what I saw. I think it's fucked up either way. You punch a lady in the face, that's fucked up. You get the shit beat out of you, that's fucked up. I remember hearing about this story in, I think it was California. Oh my God, dude, I'm just dripping out of my nose. I love allergies. Drip, drip. Whatever. But I remember hearing about this story. And it was a veteran who was with his daughters. And these three just fucking punks. These little meat-jacked punks. Well, thick triangles. Again, not a triangle. Thick ovals. But they were, you know, they had been working out. Just came up and literally almost beat this man to death. They put him in the hospital. They were beating the absolute fuck out of this Army veteran. 3 of them on one guy. And the veteran was fighting back. But you're against 3 little freaking jack squirrels. Like, what are you going to do? So, and I thought about that a lot, because I was with my dad that same day when we heard about this story when we were in California, walking on the beach. And I was like, fuck, if me and my dad saw that shit, we would have got in there and we would have fucking beat the shit out of those guys with the veteran. And that's a little bit of that ego thing, you know? I was like probably 16 or 17. And I was like, yeah, but we'll fucking crack some heads. I don't know. But you don't know until you're in the moment, right? Like, I've had some moments and, dude, I react quick. I'm quick to it. But still, you don't really know, especially when some real shit's going down. You don't know how you're going to react until you're in it. But I've always thought that, like, the more I say that I would be the person to step in, the more I'm going to be that person to step in, because that's how my brain would work at that point. And I remember hearing that story, and I would have visualizations of me just like freaking just sprinting, watching this guy get beat up, freaking head first dive, 2-arm punch, dink. Take out 2 of them at once. They're off of the guy. They come after me. My dad comes in right after. Pow, pow, pow. We're cracking heads together. And then that veteran gets up. He's all 50 pow. You know? And we're taking those chipmunks to lunch, you know? Giving them some nuts. I don't know. What am I saying? That's how I thought. And that's how I've always thought. You know, I've always wanted to be that person that would step in and be like, not today, because your boy is here. You want to take that kid's lunch money? No. I'm here. I mean, when I went to Europe, dude, there was like it was right after there were like some terrorist attacks happening in areas that were right where we were staying. We stayed in, dude, I'm so bad with names. I'm getting better though. I'm writing down names when I meet people. I write their name down so I remember it, and I write down the place that I met them or the place that they own or are a part of, whatever. So I'm getting better at names. I'm getting good at it. But this place, it started with a J, and it was in squash. I don't remember exactly where it was, but there was a terrorist attack on a train station that was like a block away from where we were staying. And I remember, like, every time we went on the trains, I was always like, I was looking. I was like, who's doing shit? Who's doing what? Where is it happening, right? And on one of the train rides, there was this guy who got on the train, and he was sitting 2 seats. So that the seats sit, like if I was sitting like this, there's one right behind me and he's facing the opposite way, right? So I'm sitting here, there's a bench and a bench in front of me, and then he's facing me and I'm sitting. And I see him, he's sitting, he's looking across the tracks. We're on the track to the right. He's got a buddy over the track to the left on the platform, and they're like winking at each other, making all sorts of contact with their eyes, and like too much contact with their eyes and movements with their eyes and their hands. There's too much happening for me to be comfortable. And so I'm watching this, and as the train starts leaving, he gets up out of his seat and goes and stands near the door. And I was like, well, I'm not going to let him just do something if he's going to do it. So I got up as well, and I went and stood right in front of him. And I was looking at him. He didn't even look at me once. And I was staring him into the eyes, watching his hands, making sure that if he made any movements, your boy was going to be there. I was going to take him out. I was going to lock him down. I was going to choke him out. I was going to put him on the ground, and he was going to do nothing. And then he didn't get off at the next stop. He got off after we did. And we didn't get off for like another 4 stops. So I know some of you were like, well, maybe he's just getting off at the next stop and going back to see his buddy, right? I know you're thinking that. And I was thinking it too, but I wasn't sure. Because there was too much eye and finger and waving and signal contact between him and his buddy. So I wasn't comfortable with it. And so I did what I did. Wasn't going to let it happen, right? Didn't happen, but wasn't going to let it if it did. So that's how I've always thought. I was like, you're going to be the dude who does the dude. I mean, no, you're going to be the dude. You're going to be the guy that doesn't let the other guy be that shit guy, you know? I mean, he'll still be that shit guy, but you'll be like, no, not as much shit because you can't get through to it. Right? That's how I've always thought. And that's how you should think. If we all think like that, less shit happens. Take control of your own outcomes. I'm not going to let some guy fucking come in here and take me out without a fight. You know? Because at that point, what are we doing here? I want to live. I want my buddies to live. I want everybody to live. No one should die, except for some people. But I'm not the person to say who should live and who should die. It's hard. That's a hard one. People make mistakes. I don't know. Fuck. Who should live and who should die? There's a few people in history who have deserved to die, probably, right? But then also you think like, who is really the one that should have died? Like you think about Hitler and you're like, well, maybe should it have been his dad that should have died or his mom? Is that why he became who he was? And then would Hitler have been like an outstanding citizen? Maybe. Like had Hitler had maybe a different upbringing, maybe Hitler would have been, a good guy. I don't know. I'm not saying that he was a good guy. Don't come for me. That's like the fourth time I said that this podcast. Damn, I almost caught that fly. But you know what I'm saying? Like who is the person and how can you make that distinction? I guess you can make that distinction once someone is like, I'm not willing to change who I am. I'm going to keep being this shit guy. At that point, you're like, well, punch a lady in the face and you get punched a little bit, probably. So you punch a lady in the face multiple times, you get more shit beat out of you. That's a callback, and that's a good callback. And you should all appreciate how this podcast connects. Right? Right? Appreciate it, okay? Thank you. That's all I'm asking. Dude, this fly. Whatever, I want to be that guy. Everyone should want to be that guy, I think. Or gal, Dude, I went to jiu-jitsu the first day. I got choked out by a chick. I was like, oh shit, I don't know anything. I was sitting there, okay, tap. And then I was like, fuck. I was a chick that just did that to me. And I was like, I respect that. I need a little bit of that. Got to have a little bit more humility, I was like, I don't know anything. I got a lot of work to do here. Haven't been choked out since. Probably will get choked out today. We'll see. But I've had fun doing it, man. Gives you a sense of control. A lot of that, like I was saying, a lot of that anger is due to fear of the unknown. Like when you get into a fight with someone, you don't really know how it's going to happen. However, if you are prepared, if you know that you could choke someone out, need be, maybe if the other person knows some stuff too, then you've really got yourself a nice training partner. And hopefully you come to that mutual respect right there. You're like, ooh, you want to go roll sometime at the gym? Let's end this right here. And let's go roll. But if you have that, you'll be a little more comfortable in situations that are a little scarier. You won't go straight to fear, which won't take you straight to anger. You can be more calm because you know that if some shit goes down, you can take it where it needs to go. And that's to the ground in a chokehold and say, are you done? Are you done? Right? Or you can give a little pap, crack her right in the nose. Be like, dude, what are you doing? Let's end this right here. Don't let me punch you in the face anymore. Let's stop this. Right? You've got a face. I don't want to mutilate it. I know how to, maybe a little bit. I can also put you to sleep. So let's chill out. I'm not saying I can right now. Working on it a little bit. Taking time. So don't come for me. But, you know, it's empowering. It gives you that sense of, you know, I have a little bit more control than I thought in these situations. If need be, I can take a little bit of control in this situation. So, I think everybody should do some jiu-jitsu. Right? Just get that confidence up. Maybe do some kickboxing. Punch some dummies in the head. And I'm not talking about a real person that's not smart. I just think we all have that opportunity to take control of what's happening in our lives in all aspects. If you know that you can take control in a really serious situation, then imagine how much confidence you'll have taking control in a less serious situation. Be like, shit, dude, if we were almost dying, I could take control of this. However, we're not almost dying. We're just maybe not figuring out the money situation very well. But I can take control of this. I can do it. Let's just do it. It's empowering. You should want to do that. And that's why you listen. That's why all of you should listen to this podcast, because I bring little nuggets of wisdom and little just little bite-sized pieces of wisdom every once in a while. And the rest is nothing, because I've got nothing. And that's a good place to wrap up this podcast, I think. It's been a fun one. I had a great time. I thought it was good. And you should think it was good too. And when you do, if/when you realize that this was a good podcast and you enjoyed it, you should like and you should subscribe. And you should come back or watch the ones past, even though some of them were bad. You should support. Send me money so that I can keep doing this, right? You can't send me money, but, you know, just mentally be like, bro, I'm sending you some coin, some Doge. There's a fly. I don't want to slap my laptop. Self-control. Did you see that? It was self-control. Oh, mother. Damn it, I'm not quick. I need a sensei. I don't know if they call him a sensei. I don't really know what's going on. But I got to go get ready. I got to go take a little doo-doo, and then we're going to jiu-jitsu. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Was it Hitler or was it Hitler's dad? You know, let's get this whole video taken off YouTube. Maybe don't comment that. I don't know. Leave a comment if you made it here, please. You're an hour and 4 minutes in. Just write, you look disheveled, or shave, or you're not that guy, which is a good video and you should watch that if you haven't. You're not that guy. But I am that guy. Sometimes I want to be that guy, you know? So, thank you. Like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. And I'm going to keep doing this, and I don't give a damn if no one listens. I'm going to keep doing it. Not even a single person watched the last one, and I still did this one. It was late, but I didn't know until today that no one had watched it. So I was planning on it no matter what. So, watch the pod, like and subscribe. Goodbye. Thank you. Have a good one. This has been I've Got Nothing podcast.